Hi guys, welcome back to another flow. Today's flow is going to be a beginner-friendly, gentle, full-body vinyasa practice. So we have some blocks and bolsters today, so I will cue to you when you may want to use them. And as always, just make sure to listen to your body. I will give modifications throughout, and I am so excited to have you here and to be flowing with you. So let's dive in. We're gonna come into a child's pose first and foremost. So big toes together, knees are gonna be nice and wide. I'm gonna go ahead and slide the arms out long, melt the forehead down, and take a few moments to ground in. And this is intentionally going to be a little bit of a shorter practice, really in the hopes that this is something you can dive into on a daily basis. An option here, if you'd like to grab, whether you have a bolster or a pillow or any cushion of some sort, or a stack of towels for that matter, you can slide it right in through center so you can rest chest, belly, and even forehead on the mat here. So option to take or not to take. And we're just gonna come into a few minutes of breath. So just recognizing how the breath feels in the body right now. Is your breath slow? Is your breath fast? Is it deep? Is your breath shallow? Maybe getting stuck in one area in the body. No right or wrong answers here, no judgment, just a way to check in with yourself and check in with where you may be at right now and what the breath's telling you. From here, just starting to deepen that breath. We're going to take the inhale through the nose, filling up those lungs. Nice big exhale out the mouth, let it go. 2 more breaths just like so. Inhale, filling up. Nice big exhale out the mouth, let it go. Inhaling and exhaling. Feel free if you ever want to pause the video and spend a few extra moments here settling into breath and body and really arriving in this space on your mat. Feel free to do just that. And then when you are ready to find some gentle movement, we will begin. We're going to go ahead and walk the hands over to the right side, hands side by side, getting some extra length through the left side body, all the way from fingertip to hip. If this is enough of a stretch, wonderful. If you want to deepen this stretch a bit, you can always inch the left fingertips a little bit further than the right. Inhale here. Exhale, we're going to go ahead and walk those hands back through center over to left. And again, side by side with the palms or right fingertips can slide just a bit further than the left to invite even more length through the right side body. Inhale here. And exhale, we move our way back through center. And of course, if you've had the bolster through center, you can just go ahead and slide that off to the side at this point, if you haven't already. Inhale here. Exhale. One more breath before we find some extra movement. Inhale, filling up. Exhale, letting go. Next inhale, we are just going to inch our way through to all fours, stacking wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, tucking under through the toes, and just taking a moment here to meet the shape. Pressing out through the wrists, protracting those shoulders off to the sides, belly button pulling in towards the spine. Tailbone reaching long behind you towards the back of your mat. Finding a few cat-cows. As we inhale here, chest lifts, we arch the spine, gaze shifts high, belly button drops towards the mat, tailbone reaches high. And as we exhale, press through the shoulders, round out through the spine, tailbone tucking underneath you, shoulders protracting out to the sides, belly button pulling in towards the spine. 2 more just like so. Inhale, we arch. Exhale, we round. Inhale, we arch. And exhale, we round. From here, flat back, neutral spine. We're just gonna kick that right leg straight back, landing on the ball of the right foot. I'm just gonna move up my mat a bit. Option to find stillness here, or if you want to get little bounces, little rocks on the ball of the right foot to really stretch out through. Bottom of the foot, heel, Achilles, up through the calf. Take a moment here. So again, either finding this gentle movement or stillness. Or feel free to always just hang in some cat-cow still. And then right knee's gonna come to stack underneath the right hip. Left foot takes that step back, same thing. Finding some stillness or a little rock, a little bounce, forward and back. Also, kind of 2 for 1 here, warming up the wrists a bit as well. Next, exhale, we're gonna bring that left knee to stack underneath the left hip. Toes are tucked. We're gonna make our way into our first down dog. However, feel free, if that is a little bit too much of an inversion for you, feel free to bring the big toes together, knees wide, sink the hips down towards the heels. And again, option to bring bolster through center as well. So down dog or supported or unsupported child pose. So toes tucked if you're with me for down dog or your child. We're gonna press it back. Option to keep as much of a bend in the knees as you need to here. And we're almost acting as if we're hugging in the front and the back rib cage in towards each other. Belly button pulling in towards the spine. We're knitting, especially those lower front rib cages in. Inhale here. Exhale. Biceps by the ears, little internal rotation of the elbows. We're spreading through the fingers, grounding down through the palms. And we'll take another breath or 2 here. Again, keeping as much of a bend in these as you need to. Inhale. Exhale to meet the shape. Either continuing to find the stillness you need or option to get a little pedal out here. Maybe a little wiggle wobble of the hips side to side. Maybe a little shake or nod of the head, yes, no. And eventually coming back to meet stillness, our one and only inversion for today. Inhale here. And as we exhale, we're gonna come right back down, dropping it back down to the knees. If you are in fact in down dog, or if you're in your child's pose, just shooting forward to all fours. From here, we're gonna get a little rock, a little sway side to side. Opening up through all of those muscles connected to that external rotation of the hip here. Little extra core and upper body control, strength, and stability. And then we're gonna get into some lower body. And then we're gonna wind things down already. So coming back through center. Next, inhale here. We're gonna kick that right leg back, hip, knee, ankle in line, point the right toe. Feel free to just keep the toes tucked, drop the ball of the right foot down and hang right here, even with some bounces like we did before. So feel free to hang there, or elevated hip, knee, ankle in line, point through the right toe. Inhale here, meeting the shape. As we exhale, left arm comes to follow, palm facing in towards the midline of the body. So nice long line from the left fingertips to the right big toe. Inhale here. Exhale. One more breath here, just like so. Inhale, filling up. Exhale, we drop it right back down. Opposite side, same thing. So right toe stay tucked. We're gonna kick left leg back, hip, knee, ankle in line, or again, foot flexed on the ball of the foot, stillness, or some rocks forward and back. Inhale here. As we exhale, right arm extends. So nice big long line of energy from right fingertips to left big toe here. 2 big cycles of breath here in your own timing and pace. As always, that's okay if it's a little bit different than mine, faster or slower. Inhale, exhale. Next inhale, we're gonna drop right wrist underneath the right shoulder, left knee underneath the left hip. From here, toes are gonna stay tucked. We're gonna walk the hands back towards our knees, and option to untuck the toes here as well if you need to, if that feels more comfortable. Either way, we're sinking the hips back down to the heels. We're gonna interlace all 10 fingertips, and we are gonna take a few wrist circles, rolling out the wrist in one direction, back the other direction. From here, coming up to kneeling, hands to hips. If you ever need to put an extra cushion or towel underneath the knees here for a little added support, feel free. Hands are gonna come to hips. Inhale here, filling up. Great option to have those blocks at this point. And as we exhale, we're gonna take that nice big step forward through the right foot. And then we're gonna sink the weight up and through the front hip. If you do have your blocks available, feel free. You can bring them horizontal, vertical, depending on how much height is good and supportive for you. So fingertips can come to blocks or the hips. Inhale here, front knee stacks over front ankle. Exhale. One more breath here. Inhale, filling up those lungs. And as you exhale, we're gonna place the left palm on the inner edge of the right foot, right palm on the outer edge of the right foot. Keeping those left toes tucked, we're gonna press out through the ball of the left foot. Left leg is going to straighten, a little bit of a runner's lunge. If this doesn't feel good, feel free to just stay in your low lunge. Beautiful option. And if you are here with me, feel free to slide those blocks forward a bit. Fingertips can come to blocks. Inhale here. As we exhale with control and strength of the core as our anchor, hands are gonna come to hips. We're gonna lift that upper body up right here. So we're in a high lunge. And again, option just hang out in the low lunge, come back to a child's pose at any time. Listen to your body, take what you need out of this practice, leave what you don't. Inhale here, exhale. From here, we're gonna come right back down, framing out through the right foot, whether fingertips to blocks or to the ground, dropping down through the left knee. Right knee's gonna come right back to meet the left. And we are gonna do that same thing on the left side. So walking those hands back to meet us, hands to hips. From here, take that nice big step forward with the left foot, sink the weight up and through that front hip, right toes are tucked. And again, fingertips can come to hips or to blocks, either vertical, horizontal, however much height you may need and what feels good for you. Knowing that each practice is a little bit different, each day we're a little bit different, so sometimes we might need a little bit more support than others on some days with some props, and that's a beautiful thing. Honor what you need today. Inhale here, exhale. Front knee stacks over front ankle, getting that nice big stretch of the left hip, the back right hip flexor. So from here, we're gonna come down. Right palm's gonna come to the inner edge of the left foot, left palm to the outer edge of the left foot. And again, option to be hanging with blocks here or palms flat. Inhale here. As we exhale, grounding down through the ball of the right back foot, we're gonna press up through and come into this runner's lunge. Chest is grounded on that front thigh. Inhale here, right leg, back leg straight. Exhale, using the strength and stability of our core, we're gonna rise all the way upright, hands to hips. Take a moment here. Inhale, filling up, and again, option to just be hanging in that low lunge as well, or back in a child's pose. Exhale, we're gonna drop back down, so hinging forward, fingertips drop to blocks or floor, drop it down through the right knee, bring left knee back to meet the right, and from here, we're just gonna take a little shift side to side. Beautiful. And we are gonna start to wind things down already. So from here, we're gonna shift feet, kickstand them over off onto one side, Sink back and make your way to seated like so, or ankles can cross over each other, sink back, feet move through, or take none of those options. So feel free to just make your way into seated in whatever way feels good and supportive for you. Few final poses, really winding down into some yummy stillness and grounding and breath work at this point in the practice. So dropping it all the way down, arms are gonna open up into a T, and we're just gonna start by feet towards the outer edges of your mat. And we're just gonna shift side to side, little window wipes here, loosening up through the lower back and the hips. And from here, we're just going to pull those knees into chest, shifting knees over to left, head shifts over to right. Feel free using that bolster, pop that bolster right underneath those knees to bring the earth up to you a bit for a less expansive spinal twist. So take what you need, leave what you don't here, friends. You're doing such a service to yourself and giving yourself such a gift by showing up to move your body today, whether you're practicing with me in the morning, afternoon, evening, weekday, weekend. Have so much gratitude for yourself for showing up to move, to breathe, and to give yourself the gift of stillness and yoga. Next, exhale, coming back through center, knees shift through center, over to right, adjusting bolster with you as needed. Arms still open up into a T, gaze can shift up at the ceiling or shift over left shoulder. Inhale, as we fill up, we're creating space for our body. And as we exhale, we're just allowing ourselves to relax and deepen into that space we just created, a bit deeper into that stretch. Next, inhale, we're arriving back through center. And from here, we're just gonna come into a few different final hip opening options. So we could either hug the knees in wide, about hip distance apart, option to hang here, find stillness, or take some hip circles guided by the hands on the knees. A few moving in towards the midline of the body, a few moving out towards the outer edges of your mat. Or option to grab a hold of the outer edges of the feet, knees pulling back towards you, pressing into the feet. Option to find stillness or a little rock, a little sway side to side here. Option to take none of this and just meet me in a Shavasana, which is just legs extended, where we are going to head in just a moment or two. And we do just that. So coming into our final pose, our final shape we're gonna meet for today, legs extend all the way out long, feet just relax towards the outer edges of your mat, a gentle little relaxed external rotation of the feet, of the thighs, of the hips, palms facing up, big roll back of the shoulders. We're creating space for the head and neck. An option to bring that beautiful bolster back into the mix, whether you have one or two or several, and really cushion out anything you need, whether that be the back of your head, underneath the arms, underneath the knees, underneath the lower back. We got a lot of option as to where we want to cushion out and support ourselves so we can get really nice and comfy in these last few moments. And we do just that. So coming to find 5 final deep cycles of breath here. Continuing that breath we started with. So that nice big inhale through the nose, filling up those lungs in all directions. Nice big exhale out the mouth, let it go. Make it audible, make it deep, make it feel good for you. Inhale here. Exhale. Maybe the deepest breaths we've taken yet today. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. and release. One more breath here. Inhale, filling up. Nice big exhale out the mouth. Let it go. And I gently, lovingly encourage you, if you have the time and the space and the capacity to linger here in Shavasana a bit longer, to do so. But this is where I'm going to leave you for today. So I honor you so much for being here with me, for flowing, for moving, and for really just allowing ourselves to enjoy the feeling of being in our body today. So thank you so much, friends, for flowing with me and moving with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.